Performance. It's the act of staging or presenting a play or any other form of entertainment. Some entertainment takes place on the field, other takes place in a concert hall. Either way, whatever you're performing in, we're all striving to reach the same goal. At Millersville University, performance is used as motivation. And as a musician, motivation begins with a dream.
Joy to the world, the Savior.
So in 2006, when I interviewed for the job here, one of the interview questions is, what ideas do you have for fundraisers? Because colleges are always looking for fundraisers.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I have this concert that I've been doing in Chico for the last 7 years called Glorious Sounds of the Season. And I told them all about it and the fact that it involves the whole department. And at that time, we were trying to raise money for the building and to get in touch with donors and things like that. So they were trying to figure out ways to really showcase the music department. And they had never even heard of anything like this. So I said, what you do is you take all the different groups that you can and put them all in one concert. And then this idea of it being a surround sound type thing, where it's continuous, people are all over the halls, and you can showcase every ensemble, small groups, faculty, and it really shows off the department.
Performance is a different experience for every person. Here's one way to motivate yourself and push through the stresses of performing.
For a non-music major, but for me, since I have an interest in music, it's totally worth it. I personally don't have juries this coming week, but that helps me to clear my mind for all the music that I have to learn. I mean, we, as Catalina, as a member of Catalina, we've already done two concerts for this semester. And with that, we had to learn two totally different sets for our repertoires. And it really is, it's so fulfilling to be able to go and learn all this different music. And yeah, we spend a lot of time. We spend about 3 hours each week, plus whatever you spend outside of rehearsal, to go and learn this music and to do the warm-ups and to go and do everything and to really expand your range, but it is totally worth it and rewarding in the end.
Performance includes not only those who are in the spotlight, but those who are working behind the scenes in the shadows. Logan Wood's performance isn't seen by many, but it plays a huge role in the final production.
Basically, after our third year of doing this show, we have a pretty clear picture as the groups come in, what we need to accomplish on a performance-by-performance basis. For example, when the orchestra comes in, they're a little bit more involved because they have a lot more people in the group, whereas for like a small flute ensemble or something like that, we don't have to put as much time into throwing things out and having a lot of things to try. It's just a matter of getting the sound in the microphone and getting that to the audience in the best way possible.
Some say the biggest stage requires the most preparation. With 64% of America watching football, the stage is set. Here at Millersville, the Marauders having only 2 wins in the past 2 years, they must hold on to motivation to be great.
The winter workouts look like they're going to be a lot harder than last year. We need to build more toughness on this team. So the workouts are going to make or break the players on this team.
I'm going to try to reform my body, probably lose some weight, make myself a better athlete, get in better shape. And from the team, I just expect more heart so we can get a couple more wins, because 1-10 is unacceptable.
I want to be all-piece set guy, rusher. Being older, I plan on taking on a bigger workload, so whatever it is, even if it's me playing receiver a little bit more, I'm ready for the task. So,
performing is an art, but before the performance comes preparation and commitment. Pat Greenidge talks about how commitment is what sparks him in the preparation for stage and the classroom.
A lot of the preparation we went through, we had a bunch of rehearsals that we rehearsed on our own and practiced our own music. Since we had our own song that we did. But then we did have 2 different joint rehearsals and the rehearsals before the concert where we got all the choirs together so we could practice the choral union stuff. It's been a little difficult. I mean, we set up our schedule for Men's Glee Club meets 7 to 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's not too taxing, but there's a lot of weekend performances that we do outside of even Glorious Sounds. So keeping up with homework does become a little bit of a struggle, but I manage to usually manage my time well.
Good performers are not born. They are taught by those who have come before them and have already experienced the big stage.
For the all the different student ensembles are already part of the concert. So, you know, like the choir, university choir or the chorale, the large ensembles are already in the concert, so they don't have to audition. They're already part of the concert. But the small student groups that take part in the concert, like that are throughout the hall, they do have to audition. And there are different requirements for that audition, and they usually have that audition, when was that? The beginning of November maybe, or end of October. So they have to be well prepared way in advance. The number can be no longer than 3 minutes, preferably between 2 and 3 minutes, or less. I mean, they really try to keep them short. And they have to be upbeat, and they have to have that wow factor. It has to be something where people that are sitting back listening to that audition are going to say, wow, that has to go in there. So usually it's not a good idea to do some slow, sustained piece that's reflective and puts people to sleep. If you want to get in, it really needs to have that. And it's usually music students. Maybe at one point we could open it up to students throughout the university.
Once we come back, winter workouts will begin. Guys start making sure they're taking care of academics to start with, nutrition, working out, giving themselves enough rest. That way, physically, people are in the situation where they're prepared for next season, giving themselves the best opportunity through spring ball to set themselves up for success during the season.
So here we can get variety, and I love it, and you might too, where you really juxtapose styles right on top of each other. Like I'm thinking the flute choir played God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, and then you had this honkin' organ solo that was really contemporary. And when you juxtapose styles like that, I think it keeps people engaged, and it makes it interesting, so the concert feels like it's going fast. Because when they first look at the program and they're looking at all these numbers, how long is this going to take? And then when you get those transitions going and that momentum going and you move through the program so quickly, I think people really enjoy it.
Performance is less about yourself and more about your audience. There's no better life lesson than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance for the next chance. Your goal is not to lower your expectations, but to raise your level of performance to exceed beyond your goal.